For
So,
now.
yeah, for now, it's roll 20, so you can't really guarantee anything, can you?
Exactly.
Okay, so if you're all sitting comfortably, we shall begin. Also, my lungs are a bit messy at the minute. If I start having a coughing fit, I'm fine. I'll recover in a sec.
What did you do this time?
No.
I got ill.
Oh,
And
okay.
COVID.
Yeah, lingering.
Oh.
Long COVID, not fun.
Not COVID, that would be sensible. But no, I just managed to find something else that did the same thing.
Oh, nice.
At least you're being unique about it.
Exactly. Stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
So, to set our scene, 20th of the month at sundown. Eve. Champion has carried you. No, not that Eve. Character Eve.
Oh.
Hi. Sorry, this is
Oh,
It's not going to get
What?
confusing.
This is going to get confusing.
There's
isn't
a
it?
character named Eve?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
There is.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Ask your parents.
I
I'll
mean,
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So
it's,
Damn.
it's spelt different, so
It
just
is.
try and pick up on that. In the, yeah, I will try and refer to you all as just your character names. So if I say Eve, I should be talking about the character.
Can you type how this other character's name is spelled?
It's
There's a-
IEVE.
It's like literally the same, but it's more like a Roman emperor. Eve.
Fucking hell. Of all names that could have been used.
Okay. Let me explain. It was a pun on. My name was a pun on Steve Irwin's. It was Eve Sterwin. So that's kind of like how it ended up being that way. So if you want, I could go by Lusphere, but I'll explain in a bit.
So,
Well, one of us will have to come.
Kill the imposter.
It's not gonna be me!
There can only be one. Ritual combat.
so Eve, the character. Champion has carried you a long way through Chult. He's been incredibly well behaved over the rough seas, and now once again carries you through city streets. This is Waterdeep, however, a northern city. Many people here have never heard of dinosaurs before, never mind seen one, and it's obvious.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Where your height often gets annoying in some crowded city streets, now it's no issue. Not only because of your increased height on the back of Champion, but because of the swaths of people parting as you approach. Some in fear, some in amazement, and all staring at you as you walk along with this walking jaw of teeth. Jaw of teeth that escorts you towards Blackstaff Tower. With the light and warmth of the day slowly disappearing with the sunset, a chill is beginning to grip you that you're unused to from living in Chult for so long. The cold and awkward center of attention is forgotten momentarily, though, as a human gentleman with sleepy eyes and clearly returning home from a long day at work doesn't notice you riding along the street until getting incredibly close and standing out from this parting crowd. His sudden shock and panic waking him from his trance-like walk is the first bit of amusement you've managed to have since you received your invitation letter. As that moment passes, you turn left onto Sword Street. Dead ahead of you is the magnificent Blackstaff Tower, intricate stonework and a wind veil cresting on the side, shadowing the sunset beyond. As you approach, there's a clear increase in the number of city guards around this section of the city. The few people walking around the street here seem to be giving them quite a wide berth, as well as the tower. And a few more individuals you see are lining up at a guard checkpoint at the partially open gate to the tower. There is one individual in particular that does get your attention. Striding out of the Tavern of the Flagon Dragon, yes, that's the name, over
Great.
the road from Blackstaff Tower, a heavily built, heavily armoured red dragonborn turns heads as they saunter across the road to join the queue ahead of you. As you join behind, them too, there are two nobles ahead of you, then this dragonborn, and Champion begins to not so discreetly start sniffing them.
Whoa, fella, calm down. It's all right. Come here, and she'll give him some jerky.
Okay. Eve the person, would you like to describe what Kate sees? And if you do anything to respond to this curious dinosaur that's sauntered up behind you.
Sure. Yeah, you essentially, as Matt described, like 6'6", bright red dragonborn, with a like quite ornate breastplate and amber eyes, quite like stern and focused on joining the queue. And it like looks over their shoulder at what I assume is a dinosaur from what Matt has said.
He's a dragon. Sorry, he's a dinosaur. Yeah, he's a raptor.
Oh, it's a dragon!
Yeah,
Sorry,
cousin.
let's see.
You see this halfling sat atop a 4-foot something raptor.
Wow. I turn and kind of look at this. I want to say dragon, but dinosaur.
Sorry, dino.
The
Yeah.
eyes, and kind of my eyes widen as I take it all in. It's a peculiar nature. And I try to pet it.
It's all right, champion. I'm sure it means no harm. Just be careful. All right, just slowly. Don't grab him by the head.
Okay, first roll of the campaign. Can you give me an animal handling check, please?
Please, okay, I'm gonna-
Alright. I have a +3 to this.
Can I like also help out with the animal handling? Because I'll be like, studying him.
No, I'm not having the first roll be advantage.
I
That would make too much sense. I got an 8.
Okay. While Champion is, is quite a tame creature for a raptor, there is clear apprehension to his body language as you go to stroke the side of his face. He does allow you a few strokes before lurching back a bit, and you can see like anymore he's gonna start trying to snap at your hand a bit.
Yeah, he's not so used to strangers.
Yeah.
He's kind of been a bit in the jungle for a long time, just with me and a few others. Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Dr. Eve Sterwin, but I go by Lustfear to Edelso these days.
Oh, no harm done. He must be as bewildered as we all are. And I try to reach out to shake your hand.
Eve
My
like
name is
hesitates.
Teffel.
Ethel.
Teffel.
Teffel. Oh, good pun. Eve will hesitate for a moment and reach out to shake your hand. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
I've associated with many of your kind in the years. I speak a bit of Dragonborn if you prefer. Sorry, Draconic rather, if you prefer.
Oh, well, a little bit of
Yeah,
familiarity wouldn't go amiss.
I mean, you probably recognise my name. It's what the university call me at the moment. There's a whole long story I'm not going to get into, but yes, it translates to Bane of Serpents.
Very interesting. I think we're going to get along.
Just in case you're a bit confused why that's the case, it's a long story, but yeah, I hope we do. And whatever this is, we get out of it together, alive, and well.
It's at this point the line
Word.
starts moving forward, ever optimistic. Eve has made her return. So upon reaching the front of this line, Teffel, you flash your invitation. The guards give you a nod and let you pass. But as they're dealing with you, you can kind of see they're kind of not really paying that much attention. Whereas you would be like the center of people's focus normally, there is a dinosaur behind you. So as they hurry you through, they get to you, Eve, and the guard kind of takes a second to build the confidence in himself, and then pulling his eyes away from Champion, looks to you and says, I don't believe we're allowed to let your pet here in. There is a menagerie as part of the tower. You could leave him there, but I think we've had some strange individuals come through here today, but I think that might be pushing the limits a bit.
Respectfully, you invited me.
Yeah. Well,
If I say he's alright, he's alright. Why don't you just relax?
give me a persuasion check.
Oh god. Natural 20.
Oh God. He's like, I should clear this with and Champion just like
Strides
steps
in. Yeah.
gives him a look, and he's like, oh, okay, just okay. And he just bows his head and lets you walk on past.
Good man.
Just keep him on a lead or something.
I will, babe, I will. And she just sends a wink.
Okay. You move on in past the outer gates and into the base of the tower through some very ornate wooden doors. Dayak. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
Cool. It's taken a while talking to the guards to confirm your identity, but you're finally in. Moving through and out of the back room you were taken to, you're shown back towards the corridor leading to the central chamber. Your invitation not quite matching your name, no longer a problem. You walk down a large decorated corridor, cloth and occasional artwork depicting all manner of magic being used and conjured. As you turn a bend, you find another double door set in front of you, this time larger and heavier and made of plated metal. You can tell this continues further down the corridor and further towards the central chamber you are heading to. But what makes you pause is blocking your path, there seems to be a small kobold. Goggles covering their eyes, and they appear to be inspecting the metalwork of the door, swinging it as they look from one side to the other, and then running their hand over it, having a look at the hinges. He doesn't seem to have noticed you. So, can you describe what Thomas is seeing? And then, Thomas, can you tell me what Dayak does and what it is you will see when he finally notices you?
Okay.
What you're seeing is a 3 feet tall small kobold that has a almost like aviator goggles and have a little bit of a nice kind of blouse with a apron and a corset that have a lot of different kind of knickknacks and tools around her, and it's a bit more of a pale-ish kobold in terms of the color. Very, very interesting. I wonder if this could use a little bit more grease.
Thomas,
Mar-
what is Dayak doing?
Derek will kind of stand behind the kobold Just like arms behind his back, more observing what they're doing and like trying to understand what they're looking at or looking for.
It seems like it's getting a little bit darker. And I pull out a small glowing stone. There, much better. I have a little bit more light to see what this is.
So,
Oh,
what kind of make
Uh,
do you think this door is? And
hello. I didn't quite see you over there.
and you turn around, you see a about 5'10" elf standing behind you in a in a suit of armor with a lightly pulsing blue gem in the middle of the chest, with a blue cape over his left shoulder.
Well, aren't you technologically advanced?
I do tend to study. Yes. I see
What?
that this is a certain interest of yours.
What is the made of that chest armor of yours? It looks very, very interesting for me. Would you like to
That,
perhaps discuss a little bit further if we were to go? And yeah, otherwise I'll probably spend my whole day over here.
that's I see no problem in that, though this is not the reason of my visit. I am say.
All right, very nice to meet you. My name is Tia.
Nice to meet you. My name is Daya.
Nice to meet you, Daya. I think we have quite something in common in terms of name. Well, at least the pronunciation way. It's certainly good to be all the way over here, and you probably don't see my kind too much over different places.
I've done my fair share of traveling, and I will admit it is a rare occurrence for me to meet one of your race.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thankfully, this meeting didn't go quite like the other ones did. Anyhow, shall we get moving?
If you have any semblance of an idea where we exactly have to be, I'll follow you. I'm trying to find my way myself.
I mean, I have been staring at this door for quite some time, so I think I'm also lost.
Fantastic.
But I
Is it-
have a sense that at least it's through these double doors that we are currently at.
Are there like servants or guards around?
There is actually no one else in these corridors. You can tell that the sturdiness of the structure increases as you travel down the corridor, so you know you're going the right way because it's towards the center of the tower where you're meant to be going. But other than that, that's all you know so far.
Well,
Based on the statistical probabilities of this building and infrastructure, I believe we might be going to the right direction if we're heading towards there, which I believe to be the center of this whole place.
well, I imagine since I came from there was nothing there. It's probably the other direction. So, will you join me? Or would you like to take an extra few minutes observing the door?
I think I'll be all right. Yeah, just a moment. And I will create a small static picture of door hinges in terms of the structure and the design. And okay, that's good. Shall we get moving then?
Very well.
Excellent. And Sherlock and Watson make their way down the corridor. Thog.
Yep.
You notice you're one of the last to enter the tower's central chamber. There were a few interesting looking characters in the queue outside as you entered, but there weren't many left to go. The room you step into is large, 80, 90 foot across and circular. with stepped seating leading down from the entrances to the floor or stage area below. The ceiling disappears into darkness about 30 feet above you, causing a slight echo to all the voices filling this chamber. The decorations are exquisite looking, but not too elaborate, not too over the top, as you may expect from a building as important as this one. Suits of armor and fine tapestries line the walls, and a giant brazier lights and warms the room ahead of you. As you look around the people filling the room, some have taken their seats and some seem to be catching up with one another, hanging around different areas of this space, chatting away. You see people clearly of noble birth, jewelry and expensive clothing, as well as crowns on the head of a few. In amongst them, you see several people in robes, some in armor, some who appear to have just wandered off the street. One woman in black robes and dark hair seems to raise her gaze from a book to inspect the newcomer, not sure what to make of you. Then one individual catches your eye. At the bottom of the stairs, in the center of the room, a human male stands with a posture so ridiculously perfect it must pain him to maintain it. Lavish and over-the-top clothing covers his body, and an oversized, pompous hat rounds off the look. He gestures erratically as he speaks loudly above the noise of the room. Why, I'm Volothamp Gadam, my boy. The Volo, who wrote the definitive guide on these things. And I'm telling you that female goblins do have ink sacs in their noses. They use it to blind their prey and scare off predators. I've seen it myself. Stood next to him, with his head in his hands, you see your old friend Thrall.
Yes.
That's what you say next. What to say next to the idiot in front of him. Thrall, would you like to explain what Thug is seeing and what happens next in this situation, both of you?
Yeah, you'll see the little goblin who green skin, dressed in a green cloak, piecemeal, fur, hide, and leather armor, looking very similar to probably how you saw him last. Looks up and goes,
But, oh, I'm a goblin. I think I know. I'm not the most experienced in that department, but I will have to talk like that. Pray?
and he just sort of throws his hands out in exasperation and then sees you and
Dog!
and runs over and just gives you a big hug.
I thought you were Barovia.
The thug hugs you back. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But there's so as Thog like hugs you, picks you up and spins you round before setting you down. Thog says, "Now let me tell you something." And you can see, so for those who haven't met Thog, which I think is only Thomas at this point, Thog is about 6 foot tall female half-orc who I will not attempt to do a female voice for the benefit of the feminine race. There's as described and first introduced to everybody, she's built like a brick shithouse. She's tall, mean, green, and doesn't seem to brook shit from nobody. She's covered in half plate that seems to have a murky, shimmery appearance on it, and on a small chain on her hip is a jeweled hilt, which seems to lead to a scabbard that's far too small for the actual sword, and around her neck she seems to have a large medallion that appears to depict a blazing sun. And she looks, god damn it, she looks big, strong, and dependable, because that's what she is. Thrall.
So long.
Thrall, I'm going to have to tell you a story about Linvala when we get 5 minutes, but I tell you. Did you ever manage to get your wood sorted?
Yeah, it wasn't a fun experience, but we managed to do something to it. All of us I got help from the others, and we got it sorted.
So sorry I couldn't make it.
Don't worry about it. I know you're busy with other things. Yeah, what is it? I got sort of this letter, and half of it was missing, and I guess things don't really get there in the wood. It just said to meet here, but a lot of it was smudged. Do you know what any of this is about?
It's like you see a look of a long-suffering with a certain party member face, and you're like, I might have an idea, but I think we should wait for everyone else to gather.
Okay, probably a good idea. I'm so happy to see you. I'm not a good fan of people, and it's nice to see a friendly face.
And lots of folks going to grin and her, scarred and chipped fangs and scarred features are just there. Like, it's good to see you too, Thrall.
It's at this point that Eve, Champion, and Teffel enter the room from the southern staircase. And the guard attending next to you as you enter whispers, if you could take a seat, I believe we'll be beginning shortly. Can that sit? Doesn't matter.
Relax. The champion sit. Just to calm everyone down and just roll their eyes.
Not on the step. People are still coming in. I'm gonna get in trouble. And
I mean, if you want to try and move him now he's sat down, you go right ahead. But I'm not going to. Good boy. And she's gonna stroke the back of his head.
I think the nobility's already in. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh God.
Just relax, but think of it as an exotic ornament that adds charm and whimsy to this very strange meeting.
And teeth.
I'm sorry, who are you? Oh
Not
God!
present.
As you say that, you see behind you, Tia and Dayak have finally arrived from an adjacent corridor, finding their way to the same set of double doors that you are at. There doesn't appear to be anyone else coming in behind you, but now all four of you are met with the sight of this same chamber, the many individuals in it, and it doesn't seem like the many conversations around the hall are anywhere near finished. So, what is it you would like to do? And if you'd like to finish that conversation about teeth, you go on ahead.
See, it certainly was the right direction.
Luckily,
Truly lucky.
I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting us to get lost, but good intuition on you. We did go the right way.
Don't worry, I have been lost for too many times already.
Oh,
Right.
If it would help,
Hmm.
I'll put you on the map. It is the very center of this big dark map, if that's any help.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have a list of something I need to look.
If anyone cannot see, speak now, forever hold your peace.
I don't think I can see. Only darkness.
You need to.
Oh, I had to zoom out a lot, but we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I almost
Hello,
did the same.
darkness, my old friend.
There we
darkness
go.
once.
Perfect.
I
That's
came
more
to
like it.
see you once again.
I can see the map in this.
So, what would everybody like to do?
Oh. Nice to meet you. Scholarly with the bow. How may I address you?
I think girl with the bow means Eve.
Oh, Sorry, I was zoning out there. People have just been. I keep forgetting that
This
not
is
everyone.
too confusing!
Just. He just extends a hand and just like, nice to meet you, little miss. Are you a kobold? I think I've come across your kind before.
Oh, have you?
And she'll say hello in Draconic.
Oh. Well, hello. In Draconic back. That is certainly an interest. I don't know that many who are speaking Dragon before.
It's sort of a long story, but I used to be the head of a research institute that's currently, well, gone through an evolutionary phase, if you like, that had a large population of both Dragonborn and Minotaurs.
Did you mention the evolutionary phase?
Yeah. It got destroyed by an evil snake man and his zombie army, but that's like another story.
No, that's
But
okay.
the point is now it's a prestigious research university that we're rebuilding, and people could go for free to learn all about the animals and Chult. But I digress. What's your story then?
Well, I've been mostly being in the university, shielded by lots of different things, and I got caught a few times, and they let me in.
Oh,
The
you're a
thing
university
that-
student. I didn't know that.
Well, it's been a long past now. I'm mostly working in the freelance in terms of creating different kind of knickknacks and the research things as much as well. That's why I was so excited about the evolutionary speak out all the kinds of things that you're talking about. Oh, sorry, I'm not talking too fast.
If you're ever interested, I'd be happy to host you over as an exchange student sometime. We're always looking for new people to come visit. If zoology is your interest.
Oh, I'm sure that would be quite interesting as well. I'm more into the, see, technology and different kind of things and working of different mechanics, machinery things. It seems
No,
so fascinating.
We have a department that's similar to that too. It's quite a diverse place now. It's kind of grown beyond me, but I could put you in touch with the right person. But anyway, sorry,
sure,
we
very
probably should be
interesting
chattering about.
to look at. Oh, and how may I address this great red dragon over here?
I'll answer greetings in Draconic. It seems we have a
Greetings.
common tongue.
Yes, indeed.
And some scales in common as well, I might add.
Well, maybe a little bit. I mean, after all, I was being raised by a pale colored dragon.
Really?
Yeah, we had a whole orphanage and everything. It did take quite a while to get used to. I do have quite a lot of siblings as well. That's the most exciting part of it.
It's not very common. Not very common to see a kobold on their own.
Well, someone has to come out of the whole dungeon kind of thingies and look out the world a little bit while taking care of siblings to earn some money.
You're very brave.
Well, one could say that. And she blushes slightly.
Very brave indeed.
Diak pipes up in Draconic. If you
Are you
don't-
fucking kidding?
No, I'm not. If you don't mind, I would like to make my way into the meeting hall. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Zayak. Maybe we see each other later, but for now, I would like to get on.
I mean, by all means, you can pretty much step over me with your height, but go on.
That would not be very
Appreciate
polite.
you not doing that.
It would not be very polite, so I chose not to. But
Kind of thing.
Go on through. Just mind the dino.
I will. Whereabout is the dino? Is that the big thing on the stairs? Cool.
Yep.
Just making sure.
The second Thrall sees the dinosaur, he's going to start making, like, entranced, and he's going to start making his way up toward the dinosaur and go,
Whose is this? This is... Aren't you beautiful? Did someone bring this here?
Hello, fella. Yeah, I did. Nice to meet you. I'm Eve.
Thrall, lovely to meet you. I've never seen a creature like this before. Am I okay? Is he safe to stroke?
Just be gentle with him. If you're gentle, put your hand down slowly, carefully. He's fine. Just no sudden movements.
Be exceptionally gentle, I might add.
What are both your names? Sorry, I didn't take a chance to introduce myself.
My name's Eve. This is Champion.
Eve Champion, and you are the large dragon person?
Tefel, a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
and then he'll hold his hand up very gently towards Champion.
Give me an animal handling check.
That is a 27.
What?
Oh,
18,
typical.
18 plus 9.
Champion's like in a state of almost drowsiness already from the long walk and long voyage he's been on. So you initially catch him by surprise when you approach, but he seems to immediately pick up your scent, and just like an excited dog, the tail starts going a bit, and he nuzzles into your hand as you go to pet him.
Thrall, you're a natural. I haven't seen anyone be so at ease with dinos for a long time.
Some experience with
Well done.
animals. Some experience with animals. Let's say he was with Tiger Companion for a while. He hung around. It's a very long story. We should probably find seats, I guess. Find out what all this is about.
Yeah, probably.
Excuse me, what's happening over there? I can't quite see.
Hello, who are you?
Hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Tia.
Oh, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. It's quite fascinating to see someone of, equal height in length.
Yeah, us smallies have got to stick together.
Damn right.
I'm going to try and find something towards the front so I can see. I always end up getting stuck behind someone and I can't really see. My friend Thrall might be able. Thog might be able to help us.
Oh,
Thog, have you found anywhere to sit?
wait, did you say dog?
Yeah.
And a point to Thog.
Tia gives a glance of this giant stature that mentioned to be as safe as a tree trunk.
I think I found the right person here. Thought I would meet them that soon. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, little kobold. And I happen to have quite sharp ears. Did you say you were in an orphanage underneath a dragon? That sounds awfully familiar to a dear friend of ours. And Thog's like going to kind of like toe nudge it, like a Thrall, like, don't suppose you know a kobold named Egris, do you?
Wait, you have met Igris?
We met Chris. We travelled with him for a while. Did you know Chris? I didn't want to assume that all kobolds know each other.
Oh, don't worry. It's true. I mean, I hope he didn't cause too much trouble to you guys.
No.
He's
Oh.
well, younger sibling of ours.
See, I told you Thrall would find another one eventually. There's just let me know. So don't worry. Sorry, what did you say? Tia, was it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Tia. Let me tell you, Tia. There's, your younger sibling, caused absolutely 100% of all of not of our problems. Now, you didn't cause a single problem for us. We travelled through a very dangerous situation, and he did cause 0 problems whatsoever. But if I ever get the chance to tell you about this human sorcerer called Rakeen, then I've got a story to tell you.
Oh
my, that
no,
sounds
Thug
certainly
drops
interesting.
dead.
Already?
That certainly sounds quite an interesting story to hear. I mean, I'm very glad that Ignis didn't cause any trouble for you.
Not
I
at all.
think
Igris wouldn't dare. Igris used to travel in my backpack because it was quicker and safer that way.
oh my, that's quite a luxury.
Well, once you can trust a cop holding your backpack, you can trust them anywhere.
I suppose you are correct. I think we can talk a little bit like that, but I think it's better get us a seat. But I think I have something written down, and Tia rustles the bag and have a small note that has a very acutely drawn stick figure that is slightly buff that would resemble of dog. I think Igris did hand something to me to say if I ever meet you, there was a commission to be done, so we can talk slightly later, but I do think I got something for you.
Let's find seats. Pleased to meet everybody.
Say you're like the tallest lady I've ever seen, and very nice to meet you too.
Lovely to meet you. It's lovely to meet everybody. To see such a motley crew together, it must be fate that we're brought here.
It's at this point a tall woman holding a staff towards the north of the room shouts above the noise, if you could all be seated, we shall begin soon. And people start to take their seats and get comfortable. As you all begin to look around for seats, I will note, Eve, as you make your way down the stairs, you get two pairs of eyes locked onto you. One being the smiling, welcome face of Wakanga, whom you have met before in Chult, the Merchant Prince.
Yeah, and the other.
Greeting you warmly. The other is a concerned but polite gaze and a nod from an individual you know to be Artist Simba. He doesn't have like a hostile demeanor towards you, but he does seem a bit on edge, if you will.
It's nice to see you both again. I'm sorry it was in such rubbish circumstances.
Oh, it's nice to see you too. Wakanga puts out his hand to shake. It's always under the worst circumstances, isn't it?
It seems to be. I think that's what we're fated to sort of, meet like this. But, last one worked out fine-ish. Only most people in Shult died. But, we got out.
Well, you're still a hero to me, and you're one of the few faces here I know. So you have made my day a bit brighter.
I've got much. Would you like a monkey nut? And she, holds him a bag of peanuts that she's got with her.
Oh, no one else here brought snacks. That's a great idea. He will.
I always
he
get
will
hungry, and, it's, I carry jerky for the raptor, so I may as well have my own equivalent.
Okay. Teffel, where are you wanting to sit?
I'm fine in the back as long as
Ben?
that's alright.
You see the guard next to you as everyone else is taking their seat. They kind of look to you as if to give you a nudge, and then you see them glance up and down your armor and weaponry, and no, they're not going to say anything. They just turn back around and focus their head on the center of
I
the group.
just kind of mimic the guard's body language, standing back.
Okay, good to know. The woman who banged her staff on the ground takes center stage in the room as everyone begins to quieten down. Greetings to you all. I see not all of us have made it to this meeting, but in such troubling times, the instinct to protect one's own is strong. Let us not blame those who had other pressing matters to attend to instead. As she says this, you can tell she wants very much to believe in what she's saying, but it's clear she too is struggling with the sentiment. Welcome, lords and ladies, kings and queens, heroes and adventurers. I am Vajra Safar. I hold the title of Blackstaff here, and will be speaking to you on behalf of Blackstaff Tower, Waterdeep, and the organizer of this meeting, Lady Lillealiya Silverhand. And she gestures to the north, to the almost throne-looking seating at the head of the room, to the silver-haired, beautifully presented woman sat there, who adjusts her flowing white robes before giving a gracious half bow and head nod to the room before Blackstaff continues. As you all know, there is trouble in the air. Even those of you who are not connected to the magical arts can feel the dread spreading throughout the land. This shared feeling seems to coincide with the anomalies we have scattering reports about. What can only be described as static red lightning has been appearing all across the world. They seem to be appearing at random, and we don't know what's causing them. If any trained arcanists have had the chance to inspect one, their reports are yet to reach my ears. Further still, when they appear, people in the surrounding area seem to disappear. Those who don't have been afflicted in all manner of ways, and in a few limited cases, they've died. Several of these anomalies have already appeared here on the Sword Coast. A small one has indeed been confirmed appearing above the skies of Neverwinter by Lord Neverember just now, as she gestures back to a noble in the front bench over here. A scattering of murmurs and whispers of surprise and discomfort do spread throughout the hall at this point, most with the sentiment of Neverwinter being a large, populated, and well-protected city, and if it's to be affected by these anomalies, everywhere else, like everyone else's towns and cities, they clearly are also at risk. I implore anyone here who has any information about these anomalies to step forward and share what they know, as we will all be doing so today. As I have already said to some of you, our two chief arcanists are engaged in important business elsewhere, so unfortunately won't be present for this exchange of information. But representing Blackstaff Tower, we do have a representative here with information he would like to share with you all. This is High Priest Vigil of the Church of Kronos. He would like to share with you some insights from his order. Vigil? And she gestures back to a tall, slim, and rather nervous-looking human male. Despite the nerves, his white and gold flowing robes denote importance and prestige. While addressing large audiences clearly may not be his forte as priests go, he is clearly one of importance. Hello everyone. I know many of you think our order confined to history, but luckily we few who remain still watch over the world as we once did. For those of you who are unaware, we servants of Kronos are quiet worshippers. We do not preach, interfere with others, or meddle in world affairs. No offense to you adventurers in the room. We simply watch the wheel of time as it turns. Now, just as servants of Savras have visions granted by their patron god, so do we. Unlike these visions from Savras, however, we see possible world events, turning points in time that are yet to come, some of the many different outcomes that could occur, and we catalogue them, not for personal gain, and not to share with the world, but simply to watch and record and meditate on as we watch time flow. Usually, that is. I am breaking our silence to be here today because of what I and the others of our order have seen in our latest visions. While his posture remains that of attempted confidence, his hands now join and begin slowly fidgeting with the rings that adorn his fingers. For the past few months, we have seen these red lightning bolt phenomena in our visions. We have seen many of the faces that now fill this room, and we have seen chaos and conflict, and we have seen the entity and false god that some of you have known and encountered already, Lillealiya Silvermyst. And again, the room stirs at the mention of that name. It's clear not everyone is familiar with it or has heard it before, but those who are a mixture of concerned and irritated.
I'm sorry, you said Lillealiya?
Yes, Lillealiya Silvermyst.
I'm sorry, I can't do this, dog. I'm really sorry. If any of you get involved with this folly, or get involved with her, I can't be responsible for what will happen. This is it. No, I'm sorry, Frank. If you need me, come try and find a way to find me. I'm sorry.
And Thrall just turns into an eagle and flies out of the room.
Again, there is much murmur at this, as you can see the nerve of some others begins to waver. Yes, well, anyway, the reason I'm here now, is that now in our visions, we see nothing. Our visions are void of anything. Our visions are tied to this world. For as long as there is a world, the clerics of Kronos will receive visions about it. And now we see nothing. One, if not many, of the possible futures of this world involve nothingness. And the mumbles and whispers of the room now fill out into open conversation. Disbelief, grief, fear, an angry dismissal of what they're being told. And as Vigil opens his mouth to speak a few more times, he stops and is cut off by the escalating noise around the chamber. Are any of you doing anything at this point?
Thog is going to raise her not so unimpressive voice and shout for silence and order and get a hold of yourselves.
Okay. The room does quieten down a little, and aiding you, Blackstaff steps forward, cracking her staff on the stone floor several times, and the noise that you turn back to a whisper, she then turns back to quiet. As everyone finishes their panic, she steps in. As some of you are aware, Lillealiya Silvermyst has been getting bold. Due to her nature, the ambitious demigod she is, some of us have seen fit to monitor her movements over the past few years. Now she is stepping out of the shadows, several of the Netherwinter Guard have engaged her disciples over the past few months, and just last week, more were chased from Tribor. We cannot be sure if all of these events are connected, but if anyone has any new information, expertise or insight they wish to share about Lillealiya or these anomalies, now is the time.
Eve would like to
And-
raise her hand.
Go ahead.
And so she stands up. Hi, you may not know me, but I spent some time with Anastasia and Lillealiya herself in Chult while the events of a couple of years ago happened, the Great Dying, we call it. We came across these lightning bolts that you speak of in the jungle while we were there. We didn't really get around to navigating them further, but they hung there in the air, and they seem to be mixed in with the magic of the place. And basically, as time went on, we ended up venturing into a dark place, which I don't want to speak of, to defeat a great enemy. And it felt like they were growing from there, but I can't be sure. I'm not arcane. And then she sits down.
Blackstaff pipes up. Anything you know is useful, whether you have teachings in the arcane magics or not. When you say growing from a dark place, do you know what was making them grow?
I can't be sure. But the enemy I speak of was a Sarawak, the Lich. I think they may have been linked to him somehow, but I'm not sure.
Again, there's like a reaction from the crowd, this time specifically from the more adventurous looking in the room. The nobles seem to not recognize the name, but there are a few in here that really take on board what you've just said, given that name drop. And Wakanga puts his hand on your shoulder as like a good job kind of measure.
Thank you. And Eve nods to him.
Is there anybody here who has any arcane experience who has seen these phenomena, or anyone who's had more recent dealings with Lillealiya?
Og's gonna raise her hand if no one objects to her speaking.
Yeah, Blackstaff will give a nod to you.
Thog will say, recently I have left a domain of dread, ruled over by one Strad von Zarevich, if the name rings any bells to anybody.
Again,
that-
heads nod.
Yeah. Just like, yep. In that I travelled with Thog, Thrall, the companion who just left. Apologies for that again. And also a certain lady called Linvala, one of the, as far as I can tell in the organisation's views, one of the favoured paladins, not just regular but truly favoured paladins of Lillealiya. And I also met Lillealiya herself, who personally thanked me for taking care of her paladin. At the time, I did not know the depths of zealotry that she had descended into, for she seemed a deeply spiritual but a fundamentally good person, and yet her darker nature eventually revealed itself. We did a mission for which I thought I was doing the right thing, and we took a shard. And again, I'm not, not the most educated of half orcs, but we took some sort of shard out of the plane of shadow and returned it to Lillealiya, and she made vague suggestions towards how she was going to use these shards to spread her word and her religion and her power throughout the planes of existence.
Do you believe these shards have anything to do with the lightning that we see? Did they mention it?
They did not mention the lightning, no, but I can only guess from what I've seen that should this plane be should other planes be destabilized, surely it would affect the Great Wheel itself.
You can see both Vigil and Blackstaff are deep in thought in the center of the room now. A noble from the northeast of the room, the northwest of the room, begins to stand up to chime in before being cut off by a lady in white robes standing up in the northeast section of the seating. Bowing her head, she says, "Hello, I am Aurel. I believe I've met a few of you before. Personally, I think this conflation of topics is simply unfair. The world is in a delicate state, left fragile from the death curse," and she gestures over to Eve, "and under threat from these unknown anomalies, yes. But to insult one such as Lillealiya Silvermyst with these accusations that are unfounded, it's absurd, surely. For all we know, she really does have our best intentions at heart. I mean, most of us do not know her. So this whole debate is rather disrespectful, is it not?" And she pauses as the room mutters, some people agreeing, some confused, some disagreeing. That said, Lillealiya may only help those who seek and deserve it. I wish you all the best in investigating and solving your problems, and I would advise you to stay out of my way, but something tells me this particular group will do no such thing. Disappointing, really. As she stands there, Aurel's face begins to shimmer. Her hood turns from a white to dark shades, and her concerned face turns to a little sly smile as she looks over to Thog and then to Eve. She says, "I wish you all the best in your respective afterlives." And at that point, there is a massive flash from the center of the room. Puffs of smoke ignite and purple fire blossoms all around you. It's hot, but it's not burning. As the light and smoke fades in this instant, there is obviously rushes and roars from the crowd, confusion everywhere, and something moving in the smoke left by this fire. Something moving that then begins rushing in all directions from the center of the room to the stands. Can everybody roll initiative?
Oh God, here we go.
Oh
Yes.
dear God.
Yes, it's go time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I didn't keep these Barovian trinkets for nothing. Let's go.
Matt, I've just messaged you.
And
Excellent.
You know, Matt, as soon as you said white robes, I was like, yeah, it's her.
yeah, I knew it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, Eve.
That is hilarious. Does that mean you don't get a go?
Ugh.
I could do
Oh,
Snap will just be like,
God.
here we go.
Okay. Who has actually got onto the initiative sheet and who hasn't with those? If you roll initiative while selecting your token, it automatically puts it on there.
I haven't, because I've not.
I haven't.
Cool.
Also, unfortunate because of how it doesn't allow to have
I haven't, Matt.
species.
They
Cool.
edge it.
I put them on manually. It's fine.
There we go.
Mine's not on there. I did click on it though.
Cool. It might have been because it was taking a second to load because there's a lot of stuff already on it. 8 Teffel, Thog's on there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not 8 for Teffel, it's 0, is it? Oh dear.
It's 0.
1 minus 1.
Well, at least you got all the bad rolls out of the way for the entire campaign, yeah?
Yeah.
Not bloody likely.
Oh, well, you're getting more British by the year.
Is 5. Jeez, guys, what is going on here? You're level 12. What's going on?
I know. Got +5 initiative and I rolled a 5.
And you got. Okay,
It's 8 and I also rolled a 5.
that is everyone.
I know, man, but you're not a ranger.
Okay,
It have to be.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
the first things to react are the things in the smoke.
Boo.
If you just give me 1 second, guys. Cool.
Matt, stop playing favourites. Just because they're smoke and they're cool doesn't mean they get to go first.
I pre-rolled everyone else in this room because there's just so many. Appearing out of the smoke and rushing towards you, you get the first glimpses of what these creatures are. The only one that goes for one of you is one that's lunging towards you, Eve.
Great.
As it appears from the smoke, you realize it's not touching the ground, it's hovering. There's 2 giant legs there, but they're not legs. As it lunges towards you, you see their giant, dangly, clawed arms that raise as it approaches you. Its fanned like feathered head, glistening in purple, and its face is kind of just a contorted mess of warped skin and tough, leathery hide with a giant orange-like smile gap in its face,
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
like this. And they are gonna charge at you. So, my first roll of campaign. This is gonna be fun.
That's so creepy looking. Don't know what the fuck.
Love it.
It's gonna make 2 claw attacks against you. One is a 23 and one is a 50.
My armor's class is 15.
Okay, they both hit then. While I'm rolling this, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Fuck's sake, 9. I'm gonna die before I even get out this room, aren't I?
That's a failed save. You're going to take 19 points of slashing damage from these 2 strikes straight across your chest. As they hit you, you hear Champion like burst to life in the back of the room, like and beady-eyed onto the thing attacking you. However, as these things latch into you and pull out, you feel like something has been left behind. There's a searing pain from the open wound, but it feels like you're connected to this thing somehow, and it's not just looking at you, it's looking through you.
Oh, fuck.
Oh god.
The rest of them begin to attack other random people in the room, charging for whoever is nearest. There is one on the stairs that has just bounced in. Let's see who it goes for. Champion or Dayak or the guard. Let's go for Dayak.
Yay.
It appears next to you and lunges for you again with its 2 claws. That is a 22 to hit and a 7.
One of those hits, yeah.
Cool. Can I have a wisdom saving throw from you as well, please?
I would like to apply Flash of Genius. 5 degree to the left,
What does that do?
and +5 to your saving throw.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
As a
in-
reaction?
Yes.
Cool.
In that case, that is a 16.
Okay, that's a success. You still take 13 points of slashing damage. But you do manage to dodge one of the claws. And for you, there is just pain from you being stabbed and slashed by a weird clawed monster. They are just attacking everyone else in this room. So next up, Lillealiya Silverhand. She stands up and shouts, "Blue group, hold on to your butts!" And uncharacteristically, this like very ladylike demeanor vanishes as she stands up, action ready pose, raises out a hand, and you see arcane magic flow around her and then shoot out light blue rays that connect several people in the room. All of those she seems to be targeting are the less armored, more regal, more noble looking people in the room. And as they strike all of these people, a few at a time, she twists her hand and woof, she begins to teleport these people out. As she does this, she shouts down, "Red group, follow Virgil. Green group, defend the hall. Blue group, run." And you can see again. You would have thought this to be some kind of princess, and she has very rugged edge to her movement, her speech, her voice. Next up,
That's straight to the point. I like it.
appearing from the back of the hall, behind you, Teffel, you can hear someone casually walking into the room and suddenly stopping and taking in the situation in front of them. Ezekiel, what would you like to do?
Okay, wasn't expecting this. Yes. Yeah, I ain't playing Thrall.
Okay.
So you see
Switch.
those of you would look, yeah, Matt and I had a bit of a conversation. So you see a human male in his late 40s, about 5'10", grey hair, handlebar mustache curled at the ends like a silent movie villain. He appears to be very well put together. He wears a dark suit consisting of like a black tailcoat with dark blue velvet lapels, a matching blue velvet waistcoat, a white dress shirt tied at the neck with a blue ribbon and a bow. He's got a top hat on his head, and across his right eye it's covered with an eye patch. In his hands he's got a walking cane with a silver handle and what looks like a dark brown leather medical bag. And he kind of... What the hell's going on here? And he literally just sort of goes, looks at this room, like all the chaos that's going on. And he's going to hold his action to cast... Ooh, what's he going to do? Because he's just walked in. So there's no one within 30 feet of him. Yes, a bit of a weird one. Okay, yeah, he's going to cast
There is that creature down there.
That one there. Well, immediately he's going to cast. I'm trying to think. Yeah, he's going to look at that, see attacking someone, and he's going to immediately cast Dissonant Whispers at second level
Okay.
on it. So make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 16.
Okay.
So second level.
That is a 24.
Yeah, that will save. So that is 10 reduced to 5 psychic damage.
Okay.
And then you see him as a bonus action. He's going to quickly get out a deck of what looks like a deck of cards from his the side of his from his jacket and start quickly flicking through them. And he pulls one card as a bonus action. Which I'll have to roll a dice for. Okay, cool. That'll end, and I'll kind of like just sit around in almost shock and sit there for a bit.
Okay, good to know. It's at this point, there's still chaos everywhere. Eve, you can look up past this creature in front of you. Lillealiya is still stood there in the stand, watching the chaos, grinning, and she is going to. You see her ponder for a second, and then she looks down to Blackstaff in the center of the room, and you see her just flick her hand, and an almighty dark shadow of a spell bursts forward, aimed at Blackstaff.
Look out!
The name of which I have forgotten, but I have it here. There's. That's a hit. Cool. It seems to catch Blackstaff off guard. She's not facing that direction. She's more concerned about everything else that's going on in the room. It strikes her in the back, and you see necrotic energy pulse through her, inflicting damage like lightning soaring up her veins and implanting itself as like necrotic black energy. Is at this point she spins around to face Lillealiya. She's hurt, but she's okay. Next up, these two creatures. These larger ones floating in the center of the room, they have a very different demeanor to the smaller ones. They too are floating, but they seem to be an amalgamation of statues and almost like a butterfly headdress floating in the center of the room. They too have no faces, but these large wings on their head seem to act as ears. And as they search the room, not particularly looking at anything, they seem to locate targets and begin firing off spells. So they're going to target towards the back of the room up here. One of them is going to cast Fireball. I'm just going to have to make a group save.
Is that within 60 feet? The one who's casting?
It is this one on the left.
Counterspell.
Okay, cool. As you go to counterspell, give me 1 second. As you go to counterspell, your counterspell fires off, almost reaching the fireball, and then another counterspell is going to strike it in the air. As you search around the room for the source, you see this being known as Lillealiya just staring at you and smiling.
Shit.
The fireball impacts, and a bunch of people in this area are consumed by flame. As the fire clears, there are a few that are no longer moving. However, the rest just seem to be pretty injured. I also forgot to remove the ones that got teleported out. Give me 1 second. Cool. The other one is going to do the same thing, because why not? Let me just double check the range. Oh, that's fine. They are going to shoot a fireball into the southeast stand. So can I have all of my lovely NPCs? Oh wow, even Foggy just managed to miss. So it's just all my lovely NPCs making
Line of
death.
protection, bro.
Oh god, that was awful. Artis and Wakanga are caught up in this fireball. As again, a few of the more noble-looking individuals instantly get burnt to a crisp within this fireball. They do not survive it. However, a few more are up there, still ready, still scared, not knowing what the hell's going on. Just adjust. Cool. The very loud individual thug that you saw Thrall having a mild argument with before appears to be surrounded and is now taking the lead in the most scared in the room. You just hear echoing out, I will not have this. I will not have this. Trying his best to run out of the room through all of these chaotic individuals and for an exit, getting torn to pieces as he does. Oh dear, that's really bad. Guys, I might be about to kill a celebrity. No, it's okay. He gets shredded by a few of the claws of these creatures as he runs for the eastern stairs. His fine clothing is no longer worth much. He's bleeding, but he is so far okay. While others in the hall seem to be beginning to arrange and prepare themselves for what they've been asked to do, he is having none of it. The rest of them, you see a bunch of individuals begin to arm themselves and make their way either to the nearest enemy or down to the center of the room towards Blackstaff, as instructed. He's not going to go there. Go away. This Velo is my NPC initiative order. Show you that. They are the large individuals in the room.
There we go.
Okay. Next up, Dayak, what would you like to do?
As would it count as a free action to reach for my homuncular servant or my belt and toss him out into the air?
I don't know. Does it not say what if there is like any deployment thing for it?
Like it's already made, so technically I'm just like
Yeah, I'd say it's a free action.
tossing him out there. I don't need to make him; he's already there. In that case, Dayak will reach for his belt, where there's a small metallic orb, toss it behind him, and the orb like unfurls into a small metallic bird and like floats behind him before turning around and punching the thing in front of him twice while someone hits on the window door. Hang on.
Great timing.
Are you still there? Or have you gone to...
He's got to go check and see, I suppose, he's at the door.
Cool.
I'm not there at the moment. I'm at my mum's, so like
Oh.
I can't help with this.
In the meantime, then, Thog, why don't you take your go? We will backtrack.
Okay. Thog is going to shake her head, disappointed at
Sorry about
Lillealiya, and say, yeah, "Thought you had more class than this." And she's going to step out in front of the first nasty that's right in front of her. I mean, that's a poor decision on its part, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to use a bonus action and shout, "By the Thunder's light!" and pull out her sun sword,
Nice.
and it shall blaze brightly at 15 feet, and then another 15 feet, all of which have dim light, all of which is true sunlight, if it makes any difference.
Okay.
And then proceed to put the chop on the block that decided to walk in front of her. What a poor
Not
bloody
again!
decision. Yeah, what a poor bloody decision to walk in front of her. Yes. And she's already having a bad enough day as it is. So that means, so what she's going to do is she's going to walk up and flank it, and then give it the, hopefully, the walloping of a lifetime.
Okay. You will have to step another 5 feet to your right to truly flank it.
On it.
Cool. Yeah, not...
It's not Thog that's got the problem being surrounded. She outnumbers them 1-2. So first attack.
That's a hit.
I don't know why it didn't. It should have just done the. Should have auto rolled damage. That's fine. I'll just do this one sec. So first hit does. Come on, roll 20. Don't get that much lag. I know there's a lot on the map. There you are. 15 radiant damage.
Excellent.
Second hit. And then I'm gonna. So that's a nat 20. That means I'm also going to roll an extra 2d10 because of my feat Orcish Fury. I might as well burn it all in one go. So it's an additional 8. So that's 15, 17 plus. Yes, so that's 25 radiant damage on the second hit.
Okay.
And then I'm going to actions.
Quiet for some reason.
That's what happens. That's what happens when the Thog fights. So I can hear you, Matt, just fine.
Yeah, it was my headphones. Cool.
And
You
then
go on.
go on. If it's not dead,
It is not dead.
right. That's it. Let's go time, baby. Next attack, because I'm action surging. Let's go, 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 go. That's another 13 radiant damage on top of that.
Okay.
And then last but not least, another attack for 17 radiant damage.
Okay. With those first 3 hits, you cut up the back of this thing like there's no tomorrow. As you slice into it, what bursts forth isn't so much blood, it's more of a purpley bluey sludge that as it drips to the floor seems to kind of evaporate into nothingness. And with that 4th strike, you manage to cleave this thing in two. Eve, from your perspective, this orange glowing mouth just like separates as the sun sword comes through, leaving the top slamming to the floor and the legs and like lower jaw of this thing just writhing around on the floor before going still.
Oh wow.
That's the end of my go.
Excellent. Next up is Blackstaff. They are gonna give Virgil a shove, like get your act together and get moving, and she is going to throw a big spell back at Lillealiya. What is she gonna throw? just going to throw the same one back at her. And miss! You see Blackstaff raising her staff and beginning to flow necrotic energy back through it, trying to throw back at Lillealiya what she just had been dealt. But Lillealiya, in her small, nimble form of just being a small kind of person, basically, manages to duck to one side, and the necrotic energy blast strikes the step seating beneath her. Again, she shouts to Vigil, "Get moving! Reds, on Vigil!" At this point, an individual to the northeast of the room. I just realised my roll 20 has crashed on the recording. That's not nice. To the northeast of the room is going to stand up. She's wearing a large cloak over her shoulders that seems to be made entirely of autumn-coloured leaves. A large antlered mantle on her head, and staff in one hand, and she is also going to group up with a few of the more adventuring-looking people in here, and she is going to start casting some spells. Give me 1 second. She's got to get her stat block up beforehand. Okay, cool. She's gonna cast. She's gonna cast Grasping Vine on one of these big guys in the middle. Anyway, cool. She's gonna grab the large one on the far side of the room and try and pull it towards her. And it got a natural 1, so she's gonna do that. Cool. To there. Pulling it away from some of the innocents on that side of the room, and towards her and a very beefy looking man next to her. Circling back, are you back, Daik?
Yeah, sorry.
Excellent. Continue your turn. You've summoned your homunculus servant. What are you doing?
Turning around and punching the thing in front of me.
Cool, go for it.
Come back.
You are flanking as well, by the way.
Oh, cool. That is not bad. That is 29 to hit and 19 to hit.
They both hit.
Cool. For 11 and for 19 thunder damage.
Ooh, very nice.
And then are there like small-ish objects around the place that are rather hard in consistency? So about 1 to 5 pounds, not to give away what I'm doing.
Around you, I'd say no. There will be on the adjacent stairway where the fireball hit, because it will have like damaged the stonework. But around you, no. It's quite a well-kept interior. Unless you could pull some small pieces of like connecting material from the suits of armor around the room behind you. There's probably a few nuts and bolts and stuff like that you would pull out.
I don't need that, because if there's debris around, I can send my servant. I will instruct it to fly over to the debris site, which is right there.
Yep.
And then I'll cast catapult through that. It has the spell storing item on
Okay.
it. Oh, not item. Yeah, it is a spell storing item. That's what I was looking for. And I'll cast catapult on one of the big things. Let's go for the left one.
Okay, cool.
So that's a dex save, please.
Ooh, it's not very good at that. Okay. Natural 20
That'll do it.
for a total of 19.
In that case, I'm pretty sure that it succeeds.
Okay, cool.
So nothing happens.
Okay, cool. Your servant flings this small pebble with their stored spell. Unfortunately, there is a lot going on in this room. The accuracy is not that great. While it does strike the creature, it is a glancing blow, and it seems to just fall off to one side, dealing no actual damage. Do you want to do anything else?
No, that'll be mine.
Cool. Eve, what are you doing?
Okay. We're going to try something that I've not tried before, so tell me if I get it wrong. It's new to me. So Eve is going to first cast Hunter's Mark, as she does as a ranger, on this dude here.
Okay.
And then she is going to pick this spot and she's going to volley. So, if I
do
understand...
know what this is.
Okay, I'll read it to you. Just give me one moment. It's a trait. So, multi-attack volley. At 11th level, you gain one of the following features of your choice. Volley. You can use your action to make a ranged attack against any number of creatures within 10 feet of a point you can see within your weapon's range. You must have ammunition for each target as normal, and you must make a separate attack roll for each target. Which, I guess within 10 feet, that would be this guy, if I chose that point here. That guy, and that guy? Technically up here?
I believe you're correct.
This is why rangers are great against groups.
Okay.
Yeah, all 4 of those.
So, right, better make a bunch of attack rolls with, the famous bow.
Okay, let me know which one is for which creature.
Okay, so the big guy first, because why not? That is a 29 to hit.
That hits.
Or, ooh, not bad. 13 plus an extra 1d6. So, that's 14 damage to him. And then the guy to the left of him.
Yep.
For 21 to hit.
That hits.
For 8 damage. And the guy to the right of him. For 21 to hit.
That hits.
For 8 damage.
Nice.
And this guy up here. On the top left.
Yep.
That is a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
For 12 damage. And guess what, Matt? She gets to do it all again. She's got 2 attacks.
Amazing.
Awesome. Okay, so back on this guy again, the middle one, the little big guy.
Yeah.
That is a 29 to hit.
Yep.
For 10 damage plus 2 plus... give me 1 second to roll my d6. Ooh, 18 damage in total. So for the guy on the left of him, that is a 29 to hit.
Yep.
For 12 damage. For the guy to the right.
Yep.
Sorry. 22 to hit.
Yep.
For 14 damage. Guy at the top left. For 31 to hit.
Bloody hell.
For 15 damage. And to top it all off, she's got Horde Breaker, which means once on each of her turns, when she makes a weapon attack, you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature within 5 feet of the original target. So if I choose this middle guy, I can attack this guy to the right.
Which one? Sorry.
So within 5 feet, he's within 5 feet, isn't he? This guy here. So he was the original target. So I guess I'll go for this guy.
Does volley have an original target, or are they just all targets?
I guess they're all targets.
Okay, in that case, I will say, because it says an additional target, I'd say it'd have to be like the big guy to the south, or probably the smaller one to the north that you've not hit. So either that one or that one.
I'll go for the smaller guy to the north for funsies.
Cool.
For a 17 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
For 12 damage.
Very nice.
She's not even moved yet, so she's gonna do all of that and move on back.
Very nice. Suffice it to say, no one in the room has ever seen so many arrows fly from one source so quickly before. Rapid strikes fly over people's heads and into these creatures, pretty heavily damaging all of the smaller ones and significantly irritating the larger one in the middle, who's now got vines wrapped around it. And it's being pulled and then gets a bunch of arrows in the back of the head and its back. Again, this like ichory purple and blue blood, very viscous, dripping out and evaporating into nothing. I've already done my NPCs on another go. So Vigil's go. There is a panic look in his eyes, and he just begins running to the south. As he runs up the stairs, he's again going to reiterate, red group, on me, please. 15, 20, 25, 30, and then he's going to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's him done. Arceus' go. He is going to give a nod of appreciation to Thog for what he's just witnessed. He's going to turn around and he's going to begin throwing daggers at the one up the stairs. Thog, you watch as he throws a dagger out. Yeah, definitely striking this creature up the stairs. And then the dagger somehow is back in his hand. It didn't fly back, it's just there again. He throws it again and again. 3
Nice.
strikes into this creature. Damn. An 18, 19, and natural 20. That's awesome. Cool. Excellent. For a whopping amount of damage for that. The creature at the top of those stairs, again, pretty heavily injured from that onslaught. Tia, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness!
And keeps just running towards closest dog.
You could have said one thing, and this will be this.
And I use reaction to touch Thog's armor, if Thog lets me. And I will imbue infusion protection, +2 armor class to Thog.
Oh, it's all going down now.
That would be Ignis's gift.
And I will summon my protection turret over here and give everyone within 10 feet of it a temporary hit point protection.
Okay, how much?
Over here. That would be 13 points of temporary hit points.
Here's the lady.
Within 30 feet of that, did you say?
10 feet surrounding. Every single one of them will get 13 points of hit points, temporary hit points.
Oh, hell yes.
Including the monster?
No, not monster, only ally.
Oh no, the monster's dead. Trust me. It's dead.
Double.
It comes back to life.
Oh, that means more work. Say no more.
Excellent. Anything
And
else?
as my action, it's double time. And I cast haste on Thog.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
You not learned from the last campaign. This is technically a bad idea.
And I go hiding towards a seat to get some cover.
Okay,
That's my turn.
cool. Teffel, what are you doing?
Finally. How big are the smaller guys?
So they are about 4.5 foot, but they float about 1/2 foot to 1 foot off the ground.
Okay. Teffel is going to mime, like, tipping a top hat at this random dapper dude that's, like, run up behind them, and then charge over to this floating purple thing and attempt to bind them. So can you make a strength saving throw?
I can. Cocked. That is a strength save. That is a 18.
That's a success.
Rolling pretty well tonight, guys.
Yeah, I noticed, and I'm not. So is that who was that? Dayak that's over here.
Yes.
You see a kind of like splash of blood as Teffel attempts to kind of like ensnare this creature, but fails. So they kind of shrug and pull a great axe off their back. Let's do this the old-fashioned way.
Nice.
Let's see if I can actually hit with this fucking thing. Ah, 22.
That hits.
So that is 15 slashing damage, and I have a second attack.
Excellent.
10.
10 is a miss.
Alright, well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Okay.
My track record. And I'm gonna try to carve. I'm like, trying to carve one of these legs off.
Okay, nice. Bringing this axe down, you make a massive impact into the side of this thing. Its arms are still outstretched, trying to attack Dayak. You don't manage to completely sever one, but you get most of the way through what you think is like the joining muscle and tissue there. Bringing down the second strike, it's now paying attention to that direction and manages to just hover slightly in one direction. And your axe just goes a bit wide, striking the step next to it instead.
Woo.
It looks pretty hurt at this point. Okay, it's the hands go. Let's give this guy a check just to see who he attacks. He's still going to go for Dayak. So this guy's going to attack you twice again, Dayak. For not so great, a 16 and an 11 to hit.
Both miss.
Okay. Seems the injury that has been done to it is just enough. Its attacks aren't quite as quick, and you can defend yourself a bit easier now. The other ones are going to either keep attacking who they're attacking or move on. What's happened? That's a hit. More individuals do begin to drop around the chamber. Yeah. Fine. And we shall move on to Lariel's hand. I don't think any of the other ones are going for you guys. Oh, we're not using Amos Artis. That's awful. He's fine. Lariel again is going to cast her teleport spell. Just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool.
If you're removing tokens, Matt, you know, seeing Roll20, like, oh my god, it's getting faster.
Good. I knew this would be taxing on people's computers, but whatever, it's fine. That's her go. I have just realised I have guards stood around the room who I forgot to count turn for, so they just stood there watching you all die. This is fun. So let's actually give them a go. Charging into the fray.
Stepping over corpses.
Absolutely. The one that comes to you guys' aid, wow, actually kills it. Swinging around to the southern step, he gets a natural 20 and a second hit on his attacks. Driving his spear into the other side of this creature, kind of from the underside. The wound you inflicted, Teffel, has a spear coming out the other side of it now in your direction, and it's enough to drop this thing.
Woo!
The other ones are awful. Another natural 20 from a guard. Oh my god, I'm rolling amazingly.
We have found the real heroes of the story.
Well, they were adventurers like us until they took an arrow to the knee.
Oh god, why?
Sorry, had to be said. Had to be said.
God! It was after they've endured repeated arrow to the knee therapy, they were immune and became superhuman.
Cool. That's them done. The Lillealiya's go.
Oh, wasn't it my go?
Oh, sorry. not Lillealiya's go. I just clicked the skip button because I'm an idiot. Go ahead. Ezekiel's go.
So, yeah, Baro's going to look down. He looks down at the letter in his hand, and after hearing the word red, he was like, okay, I think it may be time we start getting out of here. Things are looking to heat up a bit. So my scale friends, I think we should be helping. And he takes the card that he drew from the deck, and he goes, there's no shame in running away. And the card just glows with light for a second. This kind of purplish light which turns to smoke and starts to circle round you, Tia. So you are now the target of this, which basically you can use your reaction to teleport up to 30 feet away to an unoccupied space you can see. When you teleport, you can choose a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, up to 4 of them to immediately do that with the same reaction. I can send that to the group if you want, to the text.
Holy moly.
And then, bonus action, he is going to look towards you, Teffel, and go, if you could stick with me, that wouldn't mind. But I fully believe in what you can do here. And he's going to give you a bardic inspiration dice, so you've got a d10. Teffel.
Ooh.
And then he is going to turn around and he is going to run after Vigil.
Okay, cool. As Vigil's standing there, he turns around to you, points, and just points to go just next to him to the west. What's your passive perception, Ezekiel?
It is 20.
Okay, that's enough. You might.
Sorry, Eve.
Eve, honestly,
Seriously?
it's not what you think. It's so cool. You will see. As he points with your passive perception, you can see that one of these I've forgotten the word. I'm trying to say drapes, but it's not. One of these the cloth things that hang on walls.
Tapestry.
Tapestries. One of these tapestries is slightly askew, and behind it you can see a hidden, or not so hidden from you, set of stairs leading downwards. He just points to it without saying anything and turns back to the room to see who else is following him.
Cool. Yeah, that'll end my go. I'll sort of wait there. I'll maybe move next to it and just to sort of shoo people through.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll wait there for now.
Excellent. Lillealiya's go. She is gonna have a good look around the room, smiling from ear to ear, and then smile, subtly dissipates again. She looks over towards Eve, and you just hear her shout across the room, Eve. It is nothing personal, child. I hope you are okay when this is over. Take care. And as she does, she gives you a soft bow and then will attempt to teleport out of the room. No one stops her. She is going to disappear in a smoke of purple and yellow. Purple and blue, as she vanishes from sight. In her wake, she is lovely enough that as this smoke clears, there is another one of those hand creatures. But she is out of there. Big chunky boy time. Fireball worked once for them, and they don't care about their companions, so they're gonna fireball again. Another fireball is gonna drop in this top corner of the room. Go. So that's all. Cool. Fireball drops, injuring again the people in the top of this room by a decent amount. It catches 2 of their own smaller creatures within it. However, again, they do not seem to care that much. But it does leave them looking a bit worse for wear as the smoke clears. The lady with the autumn-leaved mantle, her clothes seem to be charred by this one, and she does not look happy. Neither does her companion next to her. His armor doesn't protect him from the blast, but neither is it damaged by it. And he is going to continue his fight with the little things on that side. Second fireball, it's going to go for the largest group of people. So it's going to be the southwest, and it's going to land in the middle here. In a way that doesn't actually hurt itself. Cool, be back wall. So that would be the little thing there, all of these people. Tefel and Dayak, can you make dexterity saves for me?
Okay. I'll add Flash of Genius just in.
Okay.
At 22.
That's safe.
25.
The first four dice I rolled for this damage, you'll be pleased to know, were 2, 1, 1, 1. And another one.
His look had to change. His look had to change sometime.
What did you say yours was, Tefel?
25.
Okay, that's safe too. You are both going to take a whopping 11 points of fire damage, as that is a successful save. A few others aren't as lucky as you. It's at this point in this fireball, you see one of the people there who's, again, dark hair, dark robes. This is when they seem to have their expression change. They've been analyzing the room, and this fireball singes the edges of her book. She seems to be preparing for a fight at this point. Volo and the NPCs go. He is going to continue to just leg it. And the other NPCs are going to start wailing as I do their attacks on the closest things to them. Dayak, what would you like to do?
I will move up into the room a bit. Go into the here and cast Cure Wounds on the person who's down if he's still got any kind of life in him.
The ones with the X's,
Oh,
they have
dead.
just been outright killed by these fireballs.
In that case, he's still going to run in there to have a look, see that this one's dead. So go like, oh, well, damn. Move up a bit more and use Thunderbolt down this line.
Oh, okay. What does that do again?
It is a line attack, spell attack. So anything within quite a range until it hits anything. I'm aiming it down some stairs though, so it won't go across the room, but will like impact at some point because I think that it's like a dome, isn't it? Like it heads downwards the stairs.
I'm not sure.
Like the room is leveled, basically.
Did you say Thunderbolt?
Lightning bolt.
Oh, lightning bolt. Blah, 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 blah. 100 feet long, 5 feet wide. Right, okay. So you're doing it at an angle downwards.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, in that case.
So that the impact's around there.
Yeah, cool.
And people just have to forgive me that I hit.
5 feet wide. Okay, cool. So dex save is from all of them.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay. So, okay, cool. Okay, so big creatures. We have first one, is a 14. Second
Failed.
one is a 13.
Failed.
The little creature was a 17.
Succeeds.
The noble-looking man at the back there was a 4.
Fails.
And Blackstaff was 20, mid-20s something.
That definitely succeeds. So it's 30 damage on fail and 15 on success.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Hang on a second. Cool. So 30. 30. Okay. That really hurts this, who has already been pointed out to you is Lord Neverember, the Lord of Neverwinter. But he's still standing, so you're not in the bad books just yet.
Just for the greater good.
You severely injure the two creatures in the middle, singe Blackstaff a little bit, and the small creature that was attacking Lord Neverember, as this strikes them both, you see Lord Neverember recover quicker than the creature does, as it seems to now be really struggling to keep up its attacks and basically to do anything. It's on its last legs.
Then distance. I think I can still instruct my homunculus from here. Oh yeah, no, that's not. And he will cast catapult again, still aiming at the bigger creatures. This time the other one, top one.
Okay.
So that's a save.
What save? Sorry.
Dex.
That is an 8.
That is a fail.
Cool.
And he will take damage. Could be better. 15.
Okay, excellent.
And that'll be my turn. But I will have my homunculus move close to me again. Still in the air.
Cool. Thug, you are up.
Thog hasn't felt this wired for a long time, and an almost childlike glee is going to cover her face as she grins her head off and goes, "I haven't felt like this in ages." Whee! And she dives, and which, in the general, in frontishness, which enemies are looking particularly injured?
The largest creature to the north does look like it has several lightning scars and puncture wounds on it.
Oh, Matt, talk dirty to me more. There's...
The small creature on its right is also looking very, very injured.
Oh, I didn't think you would, but you just did. Good, let's go. Right. The Thog's gonna seemingly walk very casually, but move incredibly quickly beyond that which her stride would suggest, and immediately start to wail on the smallest creature first.
Okay.
And lovely flanking advantage. God, it's good. And just start wailing. So first attack, that's a 21 for 15 radiant damage.
Coming up behind this thing, one wail into its back is enough to slice it in twain once more, and it drops dead.
Fantastic. And the Thog is then going to continue moving north, as she hasn't actually managed to stop yet. She's going a bit fast for her own good. and enter the space of an ally briefly in order to flank this nasty beast.
Yeah.
And from the opposite corner, and use her second attack to for 27 do 9 radiant damage.
Okay. It's on its last legs, but
Well,
with that strike across it, it's still standing.
That's good because I've got haste, baby.
Nice.
And then I'm going to do another, and with my hasted action, I only get to attack once, but another slice coming their way for a 19 to hit for 8 radiant damage.
It had 8 hit points left.
Good, because 8 is the minimum number of damage I can roll on the Sun Sword.
Nice. Slicing
Nice.
across its chest, you don't manage to cut this one in half. It's very, very tough and very thick. But you open up a wound just enough that the top half of it begins falling back before the bottom half joins it, crumpling to the floor. And again, this like ooze spewing out of it and evaporating. You can tell the corpse will end up doing the same, but not for a while.
And then Thog is then going to use the rest of her movement to say, "Fear not, I still bring aid," and then proceed to aid everybody else by providing a one-woman flank to the other 2 nasties in the middle of the hall.
Do you still have one more attack left?
No, I get 2 attacks regularly. Then, with your hasted action, you can only make 1 weapon attack.
I thought that was attack action, but okay.
No, it says 1 weapon attack only in the spell description.
Okay.
I checked, otherwise I'd be taking advantage of that even more.
Blackstaff is going to give you a nod, and as she does, there's appreciation on her face, but she also, under her breath, just murmurs, "Vigil is going to need you." And then she's going to run up the stairs up here, and she's going to start loosing spells. That thing is not going to take an attack of opportunity on her. She is going to do a scorching ray, so she can try and hit several things at once. Yeah, they're all hitting. 2, 6. Cool. She is going to strike 3 of these smaller creatures in the room. Striking this one up here, this one, and this one. These 3 rays. Doing a decent amount of fire damage, as she seems to be from this position trying to assess the room itself. Down here, though I don't think I've got it on me, which is a bit annoying. This lady is going to wild shape into a stone elemental, an earth elemental, should I say. I don't have one of those to hand, so instead, she is getting a dire. And she's going to start wailing. That's a miss under hit. That sucks. And she's going to start wailing on this smaller individual. I don't know, Chris. You didn't speak to everyone in the room or anything, so who knows who's in here, eh? And she's going to start pummeling these creatures. Eve, you're up.
Okay. Just to clarify something, I've just reread the wording of volley. It says my action to make a ranged attack against any number of creatures within 10 feet. I'm going to guess that means that I can't double attack because my entire action's taken up by the volley.
Yes, that would make sense.
Okay, so sorry, I may have double attacked without meaning to last time, so I'm happy to skip a turn to make it fair.
Don't skip a turn, just let's say your action was to volley again. So you still get your bonus action, you still get your movement, all that kind of jazz.
She'll continue moving backwards towards where did your character teleport to, Chris?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, he didn't teleport. He ran round the corner. He gave the teleport to Tia.
Okay,
So
fair
he's
enough.
got. But yeah, you definitely saw him just run round the corner and out of
Eva's
the
gonna
room.
okay, cool. She'll ready herself by the doorway and just basically gesture to Champion to follow you. So he's out of there, basically safe, and use her bonus. I suppose like a Champion as a bonus action can go over here.
Cool.
That'll do.
Excellent. Vigil is going now that you're there to usher people in. Vigil's going to run back into the room. He is going to. He's going to cast a healing word over to. Over to Dick if he's in range. Yeah. Shouting once again, red's on me. They're a whopping 6 points of health back. Dick, please acknowledge so you know you've got 6
Yeah,
points of
yeah,
excellent,
sorry.
excellent. Arts his go. He's gonna back up and take himself the opportunity because he's a badass. And it misses anyway, it's fine. And he's going to start throwing his dagger again at the one up the stairs from him. I started rolling bad guys. Nothing's higher than 10. Missing all 3 times. Tia, to your go.
Okay, I would use my bonus action to move my turret or the protective turret over here and keep everyone else within 10 feet of that temporary hit points.
To
Of
where? Sorry.
that to here 15 feet.
Cool.
And everyone around there 13 temporary hit points. And I will then use my reaction to teleport over here and choose 5 that looks most hurt and teleport them outside. Using the same reaction that Chris gave me.
Okay. The one that looks most hurt.
Yes.
And where are you teleporting them to exactly? By what?
Looks singed, physically damaged, or unable to fight.
I mean, like, when you say you're teleporting them out, like, in what direction?
To that direction.
Okay, cool. From this lot, the most hurt ones are these 2 down at the front.
Yep.
Take your pick.
I believe it's up to 5, isn't it?
Oh, it's a 5. Okay, cool.
It's up to
based
4.
on Chris's modifier.
Up to 4.
Okay.
Modifier is 4.
I'll just take the closest ones.
Okay. And how many feet is it again?
30. So
30.
they use the same reaction, so they'll teleport.
Excellent. And that one as well, because that's within 5 feet. Okay, cool. Does that include yourself, or is it just them?
Just them.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to do?
It's not time to be scared, Tia.
And she pulls out the goggles and jumps onto one of the higher part of the chair and pulls out a metal rod with the spinning motion onto the arm, and which turns into a sniper rifle of an arcane focus. and I will use Scorching Ray on this creature.
Nice. Oh, on which one? Sorry, I didn't see the ping.
On this creature.
Cool. Go for it.
2 rays and 1 on the big one.
Excellent.
So that would be 21 to hit,
That hits.
27 to hit,
That hits.
and 18 to hit.
That hits. Just about.
On the small one and 8 on the big one.
Cool. That small one has seen better days. The big one gets impacted by the fire, gets singed a bit, but it's still looking pretty strong, pretty okay for now. Anything else you want to do?
And that's for cover.
Okay. Next up, the woman at the back who seems to be analysing this whole situation going down. Finally, Frankie, do you want to describe to everyone what she looks like and what she's doing?
Indeed. So this kind of shadowy figure that you've kind of like none of you've barely noticed has been watching intently from the stands. Kind of rises from her seat. Those anybody who's closest to her would kind of see her shed a spell that's had her disguise to seem inconspicuous to instead show a tall, imposing human woman in sort of like her 30s, dressed in heavy black layered clothing and long black hair with a huge, almost half head of purple streaking through it. Sharp, gaunt features that kind of elongate almost as she stands, with somewhat hollow, deep-set black eyes and a silver, heavy pendant swinging from her neck. As bright purple energy starts to crackle around her hands as she kind of gives a wicked smirk and she says, "This isn't usually my expertise, but if you insist." And she's gonna shoot out a witch bolt at the big boy here.
Cool, go for it.
That will be a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 5d12, I believe, for the first hit. Yes. Is that gone? 26.
Very nice.
So this purple energy, like, crackles and shoots out towards the big boy across people's heads.
It strikes it dead in the chest, and you can see its ears twitch. You have drawn its full attention. This thing's starting to look hurt.
Sweet. She's gonna hold that. Well, it carries on because it's concentration, but she's gonna start to make her way. 5, 10. Excuse me. 15, 20. Stepping over this guy as she's holding the witch bolt on this one.
Okay, cool.
That's all she's got.
Taffel, you're up. What would you like to do?
So they're looking a bit confused because they can see all these people down here that seem to be evacuating, and then this crazy lady just like miraculously appears before them. So Teffel kind of still like dripping blood from the last attempt, kind of shuffles by. I hope you're one of the good ones. and begins to move up here. And I don't think anyone can really see exactly how Tuffle is fighting, but they're going to make another attack with their great axe. Please.
Okay.
26
That hits.
to hit. And a 13 to hit.
You've got a bardic inspiration if you want it, Eve.
Oh, can I use it after I've rolled?
I think it's after they roll, but
After
before.
you roll,
Before damage.
Yeah,
All
before
right,
you
I'm
see.
doing it.
It's a D10.
17 then?
That turns your miss into a hit.
Yeah! Guess bards aren't all that bad.
That was a quick turnaround.
You just have to be there.
Anything to help me hit.
Lord knows I need it.
What's the damage on that second hit?
Well, I've only rolled. It's a little bit complicated. So. One more thing. So 15 on the first hit and 20 damage on the second.
The first hit is enough to kill this thing. It was looking pretty weak.
Nice.
Oh,
If you want to transfer,
could I have shuffled up?
Yes. Reroll the attack for that because it's on a new target. I will say you've got the bardic inspiration back as well because it was, you wouldn't have used it if you wouldn't have swung at the thing.
And technically flanking.
And also technically flanking, so it's advantage. Good point.
Ooh.
Very nice. That is just about a hit.
Okay. So do you want me to roll the damage again?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Cool.
So, oh, nice. That is 17.
Excellent. This thing's looking pretty weak now. Having that axe of yours just wedged into one of its upper thighs, pull it out. It's still hovering in the air, but it's like dropping every few seconds. Its energy is diminishing. Anything else you want to do?
Am I still within range of this for the temporary hit points?
It stays on you.
Oh, it stays. Okay. Cool. Thank you. That's it.
Excellent. At the top of the round, Dayak, I think you're the only one close enough to hear before people see. And you hear shuffling, barging, scraping noises coming from the corridor to your west. 20 day. As coming around the corridor, you see more of these things.
Oh no.
And more of these things starting to shuffle down from somewhere else in the castle, down a staircase and around the corner. They are doing the same thing on the outside.
Maybe we should have left.
I'm beginning to sense we should keep fighting. It's a hint.
This is pre-programmed. Certain number of rounds, things happen. You know what? Screw it. They can't attack this turn, so they're going to dash. 5, 10, 15,
Life is good.
25, 30.
High stakes campaign, guys. High stakes.
Yeah, I am going to be unapologetic.
That's a lot of them. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
5, 10.
Emotional damage.
Might have been the best version of that I've ever heard.
I'm getting the sudden urge to yeet.
Some should dodge a flip flop.
As they begin pouring into the room, the ones that haven't dashed are still going to try and attack. So that one up there is going to attack the element guy. Cool. That one's going to. Thing is, you all shut yourself enough at that. I'm going to put more timed things into this campaign because that's a fun reaction. I like that.
That's times. If only someone had cast a wall of stone blocking everything off early.
I'd just like to say I think the D&D gods heard that threat because I just rolled a double natural 1 onto it.
That's what you get.
Look, if it works against a Serac, it can work against anybody.
True.
I've also just realised if someone had stole Artus's ring, he could have done just that.
Yeah.
No, this would have been very different. I had already written him to be here before that ring was stolen. That changed a lot.
Damn it!
Yes, that would have been very different.
Life is good.
Okay. Lariel's go. She is going to use teleport once more and get out of here the last few who are weaklings. If there's any left. Are there any left still in blue group? Yes.
Yeah, there are.
She's going to teleport a few extra out. And then she's going to no offense, look at the battlefield. And she's going to shout down to you all, I think it's time to leave. And throwing herself over here, she's going to 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. She's going to start making her way over to Blackstaff. Ezekiel, what are you doing?
Okay, so he's sat there, sort of been quietly stood by the door, waiting for everyone, and he mutters to himself, "Oh, for the God's sake, fucking adventurous, being so heartfelt!" And he's going to run back 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to take stock, I presume with a passive perception of 20, you can kind of see past all the people and all the crazy stuff that's going on in the room, even more people.
Yeah, just about. You can see it's chaos.
Yeah, he's gonna...
The only thing I will say, the only thing that strikes you is there's death, chaos, conflict everywhere you can see. Blood everywhere, scorch marks everywhere. And yet in the centre of it all, there's one half-orc with just the biggest grin on their face you have ever seen.
Yeah.
It looks very out of place. But yes, that is what you see.
Okay, so
It's like when my Christmas has come.
He's gonna go, listen, you all need to get the hell out of there. And come on, come with me. And then he's gonna cast... what will he do? Because he's seeing Thog in the middle of it. Yeah, he's gonna cast... Thog. He's going to cast Dissonant Whisper. I think he's going 60 feet now. Dissonant Whispers as a 5th level. So Wisdom save on the big guy.
Okay.
The remaining big guy.
That is a 15.
That does not save.
Okay.
So that was a 5th level. I think that's 7d6. So 1 second. 5, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. Only 17 damage. I rolled like loads of ones on that, but 17 psychic damage to that one, and it needs to immediately use its reaction to move as far away from as its speed allows.
Okay. It does not move because Chris, as it's the last big one, please describe how it dies.
Awesome. So you see Moreau just sat there and he starts whispering in strange tongues. And then there's this sort of smoke that starts to appear around and his eyes turn black briefly and the smoke starts to coalesce around this sort of big guy. And Thog, you're probably just about close enough to hear. And then the sort of black ichor starts to come out of this thing's eyes and ears as it collapses in shrieking in this horrible pain and falls to the ground dead.
Nice.
And then he's going to use his last remaining 10 feet of movement to move, again, just directing everyone back towards there. And give... Oh no, Dog's not within range, so yeah, he'll leave, yeah, that's his go.
Okay. That is dead. So next up, NPCs. Seeing what is going on, I'm going to go 5, 7, 5, 7, 3. I think some attacks of opportunity. 5, 7, 3.
Wait until we have to explain to Liam what he's missed this week. My God.
He's so upset that he can't come. Just to let you know, guys, but hopefully it'll be next week.
God damn, if only I was a halfling druid that knew tidal wave, these corridors would be perfect shape.
Yeah, that would have been useful. Oh well.
They're all going to start beelining it for the exits as well, or clumping up into corners. You can tell the ones clumping to the north have spellcasters with them, so they clearly must have some kind of plan. Do some attacks of opportunity. In fact, no, they can use the disengage actions because they're just trying to get together. So let's not bother with that. Cool. And yeah, that is them. Dayak, what would you like to do?
Turn around and possibly make my way out of here.
Okay.
So how many attacks of opportunity does that
That
get
would
me?
be 3.
Cool.
You can also disengage.
I can,
use
but
your
then I
action.
can't dash.
Anne's got a point.
He's got a point.
But you can still use your full movement.
Yeah, but what if I can use double my
That's a big
Okay.
what if. Okay, that is a 18, 18, and 23 to hit.
Now, if I just use sheer willpower to like add an extra 5 AC, they would all miss, but they don't. So could you just roll damage on that?
Do they all hit?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So that is that is 23 points of slashing damage.
It's fine. We
And
are.
can you make 3 wisdom saving throws, please?
That is less fine. I forgot about those. Go on, roll again. 11 or 16.
that again? What are the totals?
11, 16, 19.
Okay, that's one failure. As this one of these slashes hits you, similarly to Eve, you feel like it left a part of itself behind with you. You feel like it's now looking through you and can see everything that you are, who you are, and where you are. It's very hard to explain, very hard to comprehend, but you know there is some kind of connection there now.
Okay.
What else would you like to do?
As I turn around to get away from these things, I see little Tia go like, I think my new friend, this is a great time for leg. And that's what I do.
Okay.
6. Fuck. Get out. And then I can't see my... Tell that to follow. And that is my turn.
Okay, cool. Thog, you're up.
Fantastic. Just refreshing the page for Roll20 because it decided to crap itself and die. The second my turn came, I was like, "You're up," and then it just went, "No, you're not." How hurt is the enemy in front of me?
The one to the northwest
Oh yeah.
is pretty damn hurt.
Okay, good. It's about to become more hurt. There's
Or less hurt, depending how you look at it.
So Fog is going to attack because that's life, and well, her life anyway. She's not short of everyone else around her. There's two-handed swipes. Let's go. First attack is a nat 20 for 21 radiant damage.
This thing just gets eviscerated. There is nothing left to the front and face of that thing. It just drops like a rock.
Perfect. And then Fog is going to, because you know what, just because I can. So 5, 10, 15 in a perfectly straight line, and then Fog is going to attack this one with her second attack. But she's going, but wait for it. She's going to replace the second attack, with a shove rather than a regular attack. Yeah, which is a contested athletics check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dog?
Yeah.
You try and knock them all down like dominoes.
That's a 9. I'm going to flex on them with my 9.
That is a 25 for me.
Perfect. That's fine. It was worth a try. But
Sorry, no, it's not. It's not. I'm looking at the wrong stat block. That is.
if it's still higher than 9,
it's still 20.
that's fine.
It's fine.
So that's fine. It's not even a bother. That's not even a problem. So Thorg is then going to continue going down because she's got loads of speed thanks to Hay. She's got all the speed. Next to Baxies looks slow. She's going to take another step out, and that attack of opportunity has already been used, so I don't even proc that. And then I'm going to use my hasted action because life is like that sometimes. To pick up Tia.
Okay.
Is this okay, Tia?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So Tia, then occupying my space. So I've moved, let me just use the old ruler here. So 5, 10, 15, and then 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and then Dog's going to stop there
Nice.
and say, Tia, do the thing.
Oh yeah.
Because Dog does not know actually what effect Tia is under. Because she's too busy. I mean, Lewis knows, but Thog's just too busy fighting. But if she knows she's in any way related to Igris, a thing will happen when she says do the thing. That's it. End of turn.
Nice. Blackstaff's go. She's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. She is going to also cast teleport. That should be up there. She's also going to cast teleport, and you watch as she, Lariel, 2 of the guards, Wakanga, and 1 of the other adventurers bamf out of this room. Over here, oh wow, it's quick succession. This one is going to drop a polymorph and hold a spell waiting for Artus. Probably also some kind of teleport spell. Eve, you're up.
Eve is going to, I suppose, yeet. So she's gonna basically start basically knows when she's kind of like beat, I think, with all these things kind of like flooding in, and is going to start heading out.
Cool.
But before she does that, she's gonna have one last hurrah at a volley, I think, for funsies. She's gonna use a bonus action to move her Hunter's Mark to this guy.
Cool.
And then she's gonna she's gonna put a mark here, kind of thing, in terms of like where she's gonna aim and take fire at these 5 guys.
Cool, go for it.
6 guys actually. So let's go. So that's a 17 to hit.
Yep.
Awesome. So that is
Just roll all 5 attack rolls and then do the damage.
sure. Okay. All right. That's a 32 to hit.
Yep.
That's a 20 to hit.
Yep.
A 31 to hit.
Yeah.
A 28 to hit.
Yeah.
And another 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That is 8 damage to the first one, 9
Yep.
damage to the second one, 14 damage to the third one.
Yep.
11 damage to the fourth one.
Yep.
There's 12 damage to the fifth one.
Yep.
7 damage to the sixth one, and a d6 for the first one. Those ones are easier. That's another 5 damage to the first one.
Cool.
And all right, after that, she's going to be like, bye, and run.
Very nice.
And that'll do.
Cool. You also now see this stairwell off to the left-hand side that Vigil is encouraging people to go down. Vigil himself is going to run out here. 30. He's going to go ahead and open that door. Persuading everybody else who is not red to go through there. And he's going to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And again, encourage you all to go down that way. Artis's go. He's going to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That guy's going to attack an opportunity on him. Terrible. And then this individual to the northeast is going to cast a different kind of teleport spell. And these 5 individuals bamf out as well. Tia, you're up.
First of all, bonus action I will use again for moving the protection to a bit more closer and give everyone a shield. That's a bonus action.
Okay.
So that would be additional 15 temporary hit points if anybody have lost any. And then Tia will shout out, "Claire! Fire in the hole!" And cast Firebolt on the starter.
Cool. Did you say fireball or firebolt?
Fireball.
Cool. On that spot then is that's a lot of saves.
That's a lot of damage.
12. I'm just gonna roll that and get 20 please.
Save DC 17.
Cool. Oh, to the I added that. Okay, so that is pass, fail, 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 pass, fail, fail, pass, pass, pass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them pass, the rest fail. Roll your damage.
33.
Nice. Okay. None of them die. Some of them are on their last legs. Cool. While I'm inputting lots of numbers, Frankie, it's your go.
So you got rid of these guys, Matt, but are there? Did I hear that there was some suspicious ooze coming out of them as they died?
Yes, it's like a very viscousy blood that came out of them, but as it like dripped and hit the floor, it instantly was evaporating.
Okay. Are their bodies still there?
The most recently deceased ones, yes, but they are also slowly evaporating.
Leaving no trace that she can see.
Correct.
Okay. In which case, then she'll go. She'll kind of. Is this Ezekiel here next to her?
Ezekiel is out in the hallway.
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
A lot of the people in this central corridor are fellow adventurers and nobles, etc., trying to escape the room.
Okay, she's still gonna do what she was gonna do. So she's gonna go. I'm forgetting something. One moment, I'll be right back. She's gonna bonus action Misty Step to the closest body, which I think was this one.
Okay.
Yeah. As her action, can she try and vial a piece of this thing that's still there? Like blood, toenails, whatever she can get her hands on.
Okay, there will be bits of like this viscousy blood around. Yeah, you can try and vial that.
Okay, just as her action. Do I need to roll for that?
Nope, that you're just basically scooping it off the ground, so that's fine.
Yeah. Cool. And then she'll she'll just start. She'll just walk back. I don't know if that will that will hold. If it doesn't, then she would have still have done that anyway. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Basically back to where she was.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's her turn.
Okay. So no. Teffel, what are you doing?
Well, alright, I guess I finally got the memo. And I'll use my action to just, like, I can go 70 feet, so I'll just disappear down the corridor. Oops. Zip.
Cool. You can now also see the direction
Oh.
the individual is pointing you in.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. I think that's the farthest I can get.
Okay. With a mad dash and scramble for the exit and floods of these things moving into the room. Now, with no other targets in sight, they are beelining it for this crowd of people in the main exit. We will pick up there next time.
My God, Matt, what a thing! Well done.
You guys
That's
get out of
fantastic.
this.
Christ almighty.
Oh my
What a
I'll hold off the
start.
left. Then
What?
you fireballs the right. I'll hold off the
We
right
need to
as
go
well.
on.
Throwing us in the deep end.
And just not to, scare you or anything. Someone please remind me. I've not used the timed event for the start of this round. Next week, so we'll start with that.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I'll make sure not to remind you.
Oh no. Alright, thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Matt.
Matt.
That was great.
Well, I had another one prepared for the.
This is
Great
why
to
I
that.
said secondary character ideas are a good
Oh
Nice
no!
you back play me, you guys.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah.
See you all soon. That was just
See you
amazing.
guys later.
Speak soon.
guys.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.